Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. Welcome to my 250th video on YouTube. I thought I would do something special today. We are going to build a snowman. I am going to be using the Snowman Builder Punch by Stampin Up and lots of new products from our 2019 holiday catalog. We're going to build these cute snowman treats because these are my most requested tutorial. I've shown this several times on my channel with different types of designer series paper and different types of punches, but I have to say none were as cute as the snowman ones. Okay, so start to finish, you will learn how to do this, and if you are not a demonstrator and you can't get a hold of these products early, that's okay. You can follow along and make treats with whatever materials you already have. The Let It Snow suite is part of our holiday catalog, which will be released on September 4th. I can't open the catalog, that's why it's taped shut. You can't see inside, but even Stampin' Up! Featured this cute Let It Snow suite on the front of the catalog. So what you will need is cardstock. Any kind will do, and it's always good to use the cardstock on this part, or you could use designer series paper. And then you're going to need pattern paper, designer series paper, whatever punches you may have, and whatever stamps you have for your sentiments. A lot of times when I made these, I could fit the sentiment right on the front with whatever I was putting on the front for decoration. But in this case, I thought the snowman needed to stand alone. Okay, so let's start by making the tag treat itself. Okay, I'm going to get a paper trimmer, and I'm going to get a piece of coordinating cardstock. I'll show you this whole paper stack because I promised my viewers I'd show you sneak peeks of the holiday catalog. So I will show you everything. But just suffice it to say that Coastal Cabana is one of the coordinating colors, as is Blueberry Bushel, Real Red, Shaded Spruce, and Flirty Flamingo. All right, so I'm gonna cut a 2-inch strip. And to tell you the truth, I actually would not even use a paper trimmer to probably make all of these. I would use a Brother Scan and Cut, which I have done, but I'm making them in several colors to show you. And I will write down these measurements for you on my little whiteboard. Okay, you have a 2-inch strip, and then you have the width, the length, that was the width, 2 inches by 6.75. Use that to make an extra bookmark or tag. Okay, as I said, I've already cut several of these out. So we will be making 4 of these. I cut out my card bases and my pieces precisely using the Brother Scan and Cut. And I have tutorials on how to do that as well. So let's write down what we've done so far so you will know the measurements. Okay, so you are going to take cardstock or whatever you want. Cardstock or kind of thick paper, and you want it 6.75 by 2 inches. Okay, so 6.75 inches by 2 inches. So that's where we are at so far. Now you're going to take a score board, or in this case I have the Stampin' Up! Simply Scored, and it's available now, the Simply Scored. You can get this in our annual catalog. And what I really like about the Simply Scored is that I can put little markers where I need to remember things. So for example, at the 3-inch mark where we're going to be scoring, if I'm doing a lot of these and watching TV, I could put little markers there. And the 3.75 inch. So that helps me a lot. I'm going to take the stylus tool or the scoring tool that came with it, and I'm just going to score. It doesn't matter if you use the thin side or thick side, but I tend to use the really big side for like making flowers and the smaller side for scoring cardstock and paper. Okay, so we want 3 and 3.75. Okay, so you may be asking, can I do 2 of these at once? Can I do 4 of these at once? Can 3 of these at once? Yes. You could do a couple at a time. You could have done a giant piece of cardstock and then scored it all. I tend to just, make sure I'm on the line there. I tend to just cut them first, score them individually, or score maybe a couple at a time. So again, 3 and 3.75. So now we're done with that, and I'll write that down for you. It's very important that you're going to, well, you don't have to actually fold them yet, but you do need to punch them after you score them. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down score at 3 inches and 3.75. Okay, or 3 3/4 inches. We'll lean that up so there's not as much of a glare. Now here's what I mean. So you're going to be punching these, and you might be like, Paper Chef, why didn't we just punch them, and then score them? Because when you punch them, they get a little bit shorter. So let me show you what I mean. We are going to be using the scalloped, or I'm sorry, not scalloped tag topper punch. If you have the scalloped tag topper punch, that's fine. I have that one too. But in this case, we're going to use the Delightful Tag Topper Punch. Sometimes I have to write the names on the back to remember. Delightful Tag Topper Punch. To open our punches, push the lever. This is available now. You can get this punch in our annual catalog. So watch what happens when I punch, and then I'm going to show you the length. So here we go. See, when you punch, a little bit comes off the top. That's why it's best to score and then punch, because it gets shorter. Okay, and then I do my creases. Then I crease the bottom like that. Okay, so now that's all you do. It's not going to stand up yet until I put the little part around it. I have to put the little band around it. But we have that. So that's what we have, and I do a bunch of those. And I usually store them flat. Like if I'm doing a bunch and I'm not ready for the holiday or a craft fair yet, I might just kind of store them like that. And then when I get ready later, I can assemble them. Okay. And we're going to do one in black. I like to do a lot of colors because it lets me have contrast. So for example, like if I want to put a Coastal Cabana scarf on a snowman, I don't want it to be on the Coastal Cabana cardstock. And a red scarf couldn't work on this one, but it would work good on a contrasting color. So I like to have lots of colors so I can figure out how to dress up my snowman. So we are done with this punch now. Let's take all our little scraps, put them in my little trash can. Dollar Tree find, awesome Dollar Tree find, this little trash can. All right, now we're going to get the designer series paper we need. And we're going to make the bands for the bottom. Okay, so I've already cut some strips, but I definitely want to show you what this paper looks like. So I'm using designer series paper from this set. And it is called Specialty Designer Series paper. So it is called Let It Snow Specialty Designer Series paper. Specialty because look at the glitter. I hope you could see that in the light. Let me put the light closer so you could see this glitter. Really cool. And all our paper is double-sided, and one side has like a more flat pattern and one side has a glittery pattern, almost on all the pages, but not all. Okay, that's the other side. I like this tiny pattern of cute snowmen. Nice for a card background. Nice snow background. This one cuts out beautifully with the scan and cut. I'll have to do a tutorial on that if you're interested. These are just such awesome glittered snowmen. Okay, and here's one, the red background. Oh, did I show you the other side of that? That was the other side of this one. Okay, and then lastly, oh wait, that one here. This one was the trees. Okay, so I like this back. We're going to do this. We're going to take this sheet and we're going to cut a piece for an example. Okay, we're going to cut a piece, and it's going to be 3/4 of an inch by 6 inches. So what I do is I just cut the 12 inches first. So I do 3/4 of an inch. I'm using, by the way, a Cricut trimmer, but I like how there's little blocks that are each one's 1/4 inch. So 3/4 of an inch by 6 inch, or 6 inch by 3/4 of an inch. So first cut your 12-inch strip, and then cut it in half. And then I already have some others cut, so we'll do 6 inches. So 6, and I'll write it on my little board for you. So now we have them. I like this side for this kind of tag treat. Now I can make some room on my table and get rid of all our extra pieces and just bring up my scoring tool. So here's a piece, we'll use that piece. And I may need a lighter piece. Yeah, because this one, let's see, I might be able to use, yeah, I think I can use one of these for the Coastal Cabana along the bottom. That'll be fine. Okay, because for this one, you have to make sure you can't use the Coastal Cabana along that one, I'm sorry. So and then the red, we make sure we have, yeah, I can put that one on the red background, which will be nice. As long as you have some contrasting colors. So I do need to snip these to 6 inches. And then I can get rid of my trimmer. So we're gonna just snip these down. And then you have options. You make these, you have options. You can use either side depending on your project and how it looks. Never just make one of these because it just is a lot more efficient to make. I'm just cutting two at once, to make a bunch at one time. So let's write down what we've done so far. So now we have, that was the cardstock, and now we have the DSP Designer Series paper, and that was 6 inches times 3/4 of an inch, 0.75 inches. So that's so far. Okay, so that's what you need. And all of this will be in the description of the video, but I found out that just from looking at a lot of my user statistics on YouTube that so many of you are not even watching or not even able to find the comments because you're watching this YouTube on TV. In fact, I don't think I've ever in my life watched YouTube on the television set, ever. But a lot of my viewers are, which is great. But then it's kind of harder to go back and look at the comments. So I'm trying to give you comments on that whiteboard. If it's helpful, let me know in the description if that was helpful. So now we're going to do our scoring. So again, I use my little markers just to help me for the, mark them off. And I'll write that down for you too. Just do a couple at a time if you want. Okay, so I'm going to do, and the reason I say don't do too many at a time, because really honestly, if you mess up, then you've only done a couple. You haven't done them wrong, right? So that's why you don't do too many. So I'm scoring at 2. Just making sure my marker's there, 2. And this will make sense when I fold it up and you see how it wraps around the box. 2 and 2.75. And then I do 4.75. And then 5.5. Okay, I'll write that down for you. Let's do a couple more. I'll repeat that. I'm scoring at 2 inches, 2.75 inches, 4.75 inches. Where is that one? 4.7, and then 5.5, 5.5. Okay, I have all my pieces I need. Save those for later. Cut a ton of those out at one time. And you could even cut them out with your scan and cut, or just, I basically use my little scraps for this, for when I'm cutting those out. So now we're going to write down what we've done, and then I'll do the folding and gluing, and then I'll leave this up there so if you want to write it down. Let's put that behind my punch so it's not too much of a glare. So we are scoring at, at 2 inches, 2.75 inches, comma, and then 4.75 inches. I need to season. I got this at Staples, I think. I need to season it because it'll write a little better after I season this. Break it in. And then 5.5, 5.5 inches. All right, so now I'm going to do the folding while some of you might need to write that down. Okay, so let's see how we're going to fold this. We're going to fold it along the score lines. Got to find those score lines. Sometimes they're easier to see when you look at the Designer Series paper side or like a light side. See that the score lines are easier to see. Turn that away. My brightness. Sorry for the crazy lighting. My lights go a little crazy sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to fold, but I want them to fold in. I'm sorry. I like the little striped red side. Real red, this is called, with little hints of Coastal Cabana. And where's that little flap? Okay, so there's the little flap. So that's what it's going to look like. That's going to wrap around the tag and it's going to hold our candy in place. So we have to do that again. And I'm just folding along the score lines. Do all your folding, then undo all your gluing. Do everything in little stages. Have your assembly line. I knew I scored it right. There it is. I could almost see it. There. Okay, good. Let's get, is that one scored? That one is scored. Now I have one that's in real red, so because one of these is in real red, I can't really put red around red. So let's try to use this side. I'm going to use this side for contrast. So that can go along the bottom of the box that's going to be in red, or the tag treat. Even though the snowman's going to cover that little, it'll be nice for the little glitter to stick out. So now we have that. So now we are going to take our glue, and you can use rolling adhesive or glue. I'm just using my trusty tacky glue, like my lid for my glue. I keep losing the lids. And I'm just putting a little bit, and don't tell me it's dried out already. Here, I just used it. That's okay. It'll come out. Anticipation. It's like the ketchup commercial. I do need to like see if I can ask this company if I can have like 20 extra lids. So I put a big blob on and then I use it for 2 of those. So, you know, like that. Share it. Share the glue. That way you don't put too much glue, right? Just a dot, not a lot. That's what I tell my craft club kids. Okay, and then you could sort of lay it flat. So I get it like glued, and then I lay it flat to kind of hold it there. And it's tacky glue, so it dries right away. And let's do this one. First I line it up with my hands or eyeball it, and then lay it flat. Okay, so there's another one. Now we'll blob the glue. Oops, got it, extra glue there. And then we share the glue on this one. And if you are using the glitter side of the paper, you need some more glue, because glitter always needs extra glue because of all those creases that just suck in all your glue. Okay, there's another one. And I'm happy. I'm gonna have four treats done by the end of this video, so that's kind of cool. Or at least I'll have most of the parts done. Maybe they won't all be dressed up, but we get the idea. I like to do more than one, and then I'm showing you how I would actually do it so that you get an idea of how to actually do it yourselves and how to make the most use of your time when you are crafting. You could get more out of your time when you do more at once. All right, so I assume you all have this written down by now. And if not, it will be in the description, but that is going away because I need my space. All right, so let's assemble the tags. Let's assemble this part onto the tag treat. So we have the 4 tag treats. And now I'm going to use rolling adhesive. So I'm going to use my rolling, you can use your snail or rolling adhesive. I'm just using my advanced tape glider. And here's what I'm doing. I'm laying these down. I'm putting a line of adhesive on both sides, but not along the bottom, because you don't want it to stick to your table. So do that to a couple of them. Don't worry, you'll get a better view of this. I'm going to do this 4 times, so you're going to get a good, I got a little bit down on the bottom. So you want it to be right on the sides. Okay, but not too high up. It can't really go more than 3/4 of an inch up. Let's stand it up, and let's lower the little band around it. Okay, stand it on the table, lower the band, and then get in there with your hands, and while it's still flat on the table, you're going to push against that. We're going to do that a few more times. See, so it's flush against the bottom. Perfect. I'm happy with that one. It stands up good. It holds candy really well. We'll do this one. I'm going to do this one on this striped one on Coastal Cabana. It doesn't have, see, I'm doing a line of adhesive, a line of adhesive. See that in the light? Hope you can see that adhesive. There you go. Stand it up, lower the band, put your hands in there, and tighten that up. Okay, done 2. This one already had the adhesive on it. Lower the band. Tighten it up. Okay, good. And one more. And if you notice, these colors coordinate really well together. That's because Stampin' Up has done that on purpose. These are called complementary colors. These really do a nice job together. This is shaded spruce. So I'm using the shaded spruce with the real red. Nice combination. Okay, and then we have, like I said, the Coastal Cabana. So we got shaded spruce, real red, Coastal Cabana, and black. And of course, Flirty Flamingo is also one of the colors in this set. Yay! Now we're going to put the little toppers on. It's good to put the toppers on before you put the candy inside. So here's another product that features in our holiday catalog. It's called Curly Ribbon. That's easy enough. Real red curly ribbon. How much curly ribbon? Well, I think about 7 inches is good. I just sort of eyeball it, is what I do. Or I use like a stamp case as a reference. Sometimes I just get a stamp case and just go like this and sort of, no more than that. No more than that much ribbon. So that's about, I just go diagonal. I need 2 of these curly ones because you don't want to put the red on the red one for contrast, okay? You want to put this one here. This ribbon's available now, glitter organdy ribbon. It's available now in our annual catalog. This ribbon was first released last Halloween, and it's really popular. And I love it because it has like a little bit of elastic inside. It's really great for these tag treats. So I'm doing a couple of pieces of that. Again, about 7 inches. It could be 8 inches. I mean, give or take. And then you're going to loop the ribbon around. So let's use contrasting. So like, don't use red on the red, but we can use red on the Coastal Cabana. So I just loop it. I just make a little loop and put my ribbon in. It'll make more sense with the organdy. This one's just really easy to work with. It kind of feels like hair. It's kind of cool, like braided hair, but then it frays at the end. And when it frays, it looks kind of cool because it just kind of falls apart at the end, but it stands up nicely too. So there's our, and if you want to check which is the front and the back, it doesn't really matter, but like if you want the back to have the seam, like seam meaning right there where the little paper overlap, then you could make that the back, but it doesn't matter because we're putting a sentiment on each side of the treat. We're putting a sentiment on one side and a snowman on the other. So there is no real front and back for this kind of treat. So there we go, and then we'll use this one. Now let me show you, that make more sense, the way to really loop the ribbon when you see this organdy. So I loop it, that's how I loop it. Kind of like that, and then I pinch it and put it through the holes. What I like about this delightful tag topper punch is how small the hole is. Because in the previous punch, the hole was so big and it was really hard to get the ribbon to stay standing up straight. And I like when the ribbon stands up straight, like that. And you know, that's what I said about the wire. It has some give. So now I'm gonna just trim a little piece off. Let's see, I like them both going the same way. Yeah, he's good. I like them. And see how it stands up? And we'll do the last one. Glitter organdy ribbon. Okay, so we have our treat. Our treats, plural. Now when you stuff candy into them, they won't fall out because the ribbon is on top. So they won't fall apart. The ribbon is already in there tight. You try to put the ribbon on later with the candy in it. Oops, let me just get that in it. Then the ribbons aren't as tight. Okay, this one, I think I botched that one up a little bit. But you know what? It's crafting. There's really no right or wrong way. But you know what? This little ribbon has some little give to it. I know I botched it up because the ribbon should be facing the same direction, and they're not. And that's okay, because we just make them face the same direction by cutting them. And now they're facing in the same direction. See, we fixed it. So now we have our little treats, and now we need to get our snowman. We need to do our snowman. So for the snowman, I like to take 3-inch strips. I took a piece of 12 by 12 Whisper White cardstock, and I cut it into 3-inch strips. Let's put our sponge down. Okay, we're going to stamp the snowman. I just start at the bottom. You want to make the most of your paper. I'm stamping it in Whisper White cardstock, Memento black ink, and I'm going to take this stamping block D, stamping block D, and I'm going to take the Snowman Season stamp set. Yay! For the Let It Snow Suite. The Snowman Season. I mean, it's super cute, and this is the one I've been using mostly. And while we're at it, let's take out this one. we're going to take this Let It Snow out of the package. Don't worry that you have acrylic stamps and they get stained. It's not a big deal. I'm going to put the Let It Snow on there. It's stamping block B, just to let it sit there for a little bit, because we need that later. So let's take our snowman and put it somewhere in the middle. You're going to see why. Because when we punch it, we need room for the arms, the hat, and the nose. Okay, I'm tapping onto the black, tap. And I'm not pounding onto my sponge. I'm just laying it there for 3 seconds. And here when I pulled it off, it made a little sound. Okay, you should be able to put 4 of these on here. 1, 2, 3. You have 4 and you need enough room to use your punch. Now we're going to put your lid back on and you could clean your stamp. But Paper Chef is not cleaning the stamps because we are on a mission to build snowmen. I'm going to open up the Snowman Builder Punch. That is part of the Let It Snow suite. And I'm going to put the snowman into the punch. I'm going to line it up. Okay. And I'm going to punch. And it gives you this cute little outline. And it gives you arms. It gives you little stick arms that will color. And it gives you a little hat. And I actually don't use that hat. You could color it, and you know, obviously, I know I'm going to get asked, well, why don't you use different colors of paper? Because I think it's just a lot easier just to color than go get brown cardstock. You know, I could go get brown cardstock and cut out the little stick arms, or wood cardstock would be cute. And I could go get black cardstock and cut out the top hats, which would be cute. But there's an easier way. I mean, and we also have little embellishments that you can make arms out of. Okay, I'm doing this again. Snowman Builder, number 3. And I have a piece big enough to hold. That's why I made them 3 inches wide. The piece is big enough to hold on the side without getting stuck inside there, everything. So I hold it. There we go. All right, so now we have our pieces. So now you're going to make, I have so many I've already cut out earlier as well. So I'm just going to get the best of the ones. Sometimes they're a little uneven, so I'm going to use a couple others. There we go. I have a whole little bucket of stuff. My bucket of embellishments. I'll save my hats for later. So what I'm going to do is just take this to use as a place to color my arms. And I'm going to take either marker. I just thought both of these were good for coloring, and I thought, let's color the arms in. Let's see what these are. This one's crumb cake, I know that. And the other one I think is soft suede. Yes, soft suede. It'll all be in the description. Color your arms in soft suede or crumb cake. But just make sure they match as a pair. And again, yes, you can use brown cardstock. But use cardstock, don't use designer stitch paper, because you want the arms to be kind of strong. So now I have a cute little arm. A little stick arm of a snowman. So put that over there. Let's make a pair of those. And I'm going to make 1 pair in crumb cake. Okay. Because we don't need to make all the pairs now, because I have other things to use for arms that I want to show you. Super, super cool. Like some embellishments that are part of this suite. And the reason I'm allowed to order early is I'm a demonstrator, but if you ever want to join my team, you can pre-order stuff early, which is one of our biggest perks of being a demonstrator, aside from getting a discount. I get 25% off all Stampin' Up products, and my team members, or except for a couple of them get 25%, but most get 20% because I have a young team, but they are growing. I'm very proud of them. So you start out with 20% off. So let's do this. Let's put these on the back of the snowman. Oh no, you know what? Let's color the noses before we turn over the snowman. So I'm going to color the noses in pumpkin pie. Okay. Then when I turn it over, I'm not forgetting anything. Okay. Before and after. You see, you got to color the noses. They just look better when you color the noses. Let me focus back down there. And all my noses. I don't need so many snowmen. I don't think I'm going to do that many right now. All right, good. Oh, let's do this one. So now I'm going to take a couple of my snowmen and I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to get some glue. I'm just going to dab it on there, and I'm going to put the arms on the back of the snowman. Okay, so can you see that? I'm just putting a little dab of glue because I put too much glue on one side. I'm sticking an arm out the back of the snowman, out that side, and this side I already had an arm, and you could put them like one up and one down to the side a little. Okay, pretty cool. And then you could do that to this one, a dot of glue on each side and put the little arms. I mean, this is just the way I did it. You could put the arms in the front. My friend Mona and I made these the other day. She came over and she was making them in the back, and I was putting them in the front, and I liked it. I liked hers in the back better, so then I just started putting my arms in the back for this little style. But then for the stickers, it looked better with the arms in the front. So it all just depends. Put my lid back on my glue. Now we are going to put some dimensionals on these. You just want some foam adhesives. Okay, just some foam adhesives, meaning double-sided adhesives. I put one on top, put one on his head. Oops, come on. That one just that one got the best of me. I hope he doesn't stick out the side. I hope he's hidden, but he's white, so it doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, we have black dimensionals as well. Release soon. Okay, so let's, good. And good. So now we have to put these on our treat holders. So let's just pick a treat holder. We'll use this one. Put him on there. Okay. And by the way, I peeled off the back of I hope I did. Yes, I did. I peeled them off. Sometimes I just do things by second nature and I need to remind everybody what I'm doing. So we'll put this one here. Okay, so there we have our little snowman. Now they need hats. So you have a couple options for your hats. One is if you have a scan and cut, you use the designer series paper. Let me find, oh, here's just a black hat we used cut out of black. Let's see. There was designer series paper. I think I showed you earlier. Now I already threw it down to make room. But there are little hats in this paper. So that's an option. Or you can cut out the hats using the Snowman Builder Punch. Or you can physically, here, let's get a couple hats and just show you the different kinds of hats that were on that paper. Maybe they were on different sheets of paper. Blueberry bushel. Some hats didn't really cut out quite evenly. But here's a couple. Oh, you know what? I like the holly. Put the holly on the hat. So I'm going to use this hat with the holly. And I think I'm not going to use a blue hat. I'm going to use the little snowman hats with the holly because I think they'll look better. So I shouldn't have stood up my glue. Tacky glue, to me, in my opinion, best if you just like keep it laying down because it takes forever to come out. So I'm putting the holly on the hat. Okay, and some holly on the hat, and I think that'll look good. And then that side, oops, way too much holly on my hat. Okay, but you know what? We could put some, well, no, because I'm not going to be using it for that. Let's see. I'll just put some holly on another hat because I have so much glue. Then we'll have another hat for later. There we go. Let's find a good hat. Some of the hats didn't quite cut out evenly. Here's one that's pretty good. Trim the bottom a little. All right, some holly on that side. All right, so that'll be for later. And this is for now. So once you get your little hats the way you want them, you can either use the Snowman Builder Punch to make your hats. You can get the designer series paper, or I want to show you this option. But I just thought it wasted a lot of paper. But I do need to show you because, you know, you might be going, when you get this punch, you're going to go, what the heck? This is what I'd said. What the heck? What were you thinking, Stampin' Up? See what I mean? You put the Snowman Builder Punch in there and you're like, you see what I mean? You're like, it'll punch out the hat perfectly, but you have to do all this business of wasting a lot of paper. So what I was doing to make it sort of fit in there is I had to cut around a whole big section to make the, you see what I mean? I had to cut off a whole section of paper just to get this hat to punch out. Then I had to stick it in there. So I felt like I wasted a lot of designer series paper just to cut out a hat, but I loved the way it cut out the hat just perfectly. And I mean, they get 2 thumbs up for matching the hat to the punch. Stampin' Up gets 2 thumbs up, but the pattern and the way you have to angle it and waste a lot of paper, not so much. But there you go, that's an option. So you could get the hat out of the design series paper, but I think it would be easier to cut these out with scissors than to waste that much paper. Now we're going to take a little dimensional behind for each hat, maybe the mini dimensionals, because it's a little hat. Stick a mini dimensional back there behind the hat and stick that on. That way he sticks up off the back the same way that the snowman sticks up. Okay, so mini dimensional. But put the mini dimensional up a little bit, up high, because the snowman itself you want this like hat to overlap his head. Okay, so there we go. You could even make it like cover the eyes of the snowman if you want, but I think it looks cute like that. Okay, so I mean, they're already ready to go. They're super cute, and you learned how to make them, but let's just go further. Let's show you about the embellishments, and let's show you about how to dress them up with using the little kit that came with this. So again, I'm going to find the back. That would be the back. I'm going to put the snowman. Well, it doesn't really matter what side I put the snowman on, but in this one, I'm going to put the snowman on this side. A dimensional. Okay. Putting a snowman there. Maybe one more little dimensional behind this one. All right, so then we do one more here on the black one. That would be the front. I'm going to put a dimensional behind his head and a big dimensional on the bottom. Oops, what happened to him? Wait, where did he come from? I don't even know where that came from. That wasn't my snowman. That was a piece I punched out of with the snowman builder punch. Here's the snowman. I just put a dimensional on the wrong snowman. Oh, all right. Let's put some here. All right, so now we have a snowman. So now let's use the Let It Snow Embellishment Kit. Oh my goodness. If you saw my unboxing on my Facebook channel live the other night, I mean, you could have seen my excitement when I opened up this embellishment kit. I wish I could get more, but there was a limit. We were only allowed to buy one of them. I went to go try to get more, and I wasn't allowed to get more because they don't want to run out for when the customers start to order in September 4th. But okay, open it up, and the box itself is adorable. Look, and it's not marked, so you don't have like all these labels on it saying what it is. It's the Let It Snow Embellishment Kit. So this is a gift box in itself. But look, you can make your own snowman. With the Snowman Builder Punch, you have the coal for the buttons, you have the mouth, you have the carrot noses, and you have the little stick arms. So when I use this little curvy keepsake box that I did order, I'm going to be able to decorate those as little snowmen. You get little tiny snowballs for the rest of the stamp set. I guess my friend Jenny said they're snowballs. I didn't know what these were. She said they're snowballs. So when you stamp one of these sets, you get little snowballs. And then the best of all are these little felt embellishments. So let's dress up our snowmen. I have to punch them out for you to see how cute they are. So we have shaded spruce, the little hats, little scarves, and little tiny mittens. And they all punch out, and they're already sewn and stitched. So let's find the scarf. There's a couple styles of scarves here. I like this style better for the Snowman Builder Punch, but there is another style of scarves. Okay, let's see. And this one looks a little better, I think, if I made a blank snowman, or I have to cut part of it and hide it behind it. It was kind of a bulky scarf. So let's put that down, and we'll use the shaded spruce on the black one because it'll contrast well. Or maybe we even use it on, nope. I think on this one, he needs the red. Or he could use the flirty, it could be a girl. We could use the flirty flamingo. That would look good on that one too. So let's do that one. Because I haven't done a flirty flamingo one yet. So there's a little scarf, little mittens. And the mittens are for something else. They can't fit on the, well, you could try to fit them right on the front. I thought it was a little overkill on the front, so I put them on the back. In fact, I'll show you what I did with the mittens. I think you might have seen that. So here we have Coastal Cabana, we have Real Red, we have Flirty Flamingo, and we have Felt Shaded Spruce with little stickers, little snowballs, and a cute little box. And I absolutely love the Let It Snow Embellishment Kit. So here's what I did with this. Let me find what I did. Here we go. When I put the Let It Snow, I put the little mittens on it. And so if I dressed them up on the front with the Coastal Cabana, because it was already kind of hidden, the scarf would have hid the mitten. That's why I didn't put the mittens on the front of this one. But on the back, I didn't put the mittens on that one. But what I meant to do is put that kind of mittens on the back. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for this. So you're going to see. So I'm going to dress them up. I'm going to put the flirty You know, I'm going to put the Flirty Flamingo on this one. Doesn't matter, but I just decided. I think it's because it's a lighter color, it's going to contrast well. Well, we can try it. Nope. It needs to go. I'm back to the Coastal Cabana. So you put the little there, and before you get too far, put the little arm under there. I should have put the arm beneath the scarf, so I'm putting a sticker arm, but kind of let people see it. So maybe it goes like under there a little bit, but facing down, so they can see the little arm. And then I'm going to put a little arm, a little sticker arm, facing up on that side. So if you had a blank snowman, I think the scarf would be a little more in proportion. And then we're going to put this little, he's so cute, the little hat, the Flirty Flamingo hat. And then on the back, when I put the embellishment, that's where I'm going to put the mittens, just like I did there. I'm going to show you how I did that. There's a little trick to it. So I'm going to just pretty much finish these two. I mean, on the whole thing, and the other two will have to be, the backs will be done right after the video. Just because in the interest of time on my viewers, and I want you to definitely get to see everything that you need to see. Oops, there's a little bit of fuzz on there. And that's not my hair this time, it is a piece of little fuzz. Okay, so there's the cute little scarf, and again, I forgot the arm. You should always put the arm on first. And then put the other arm on, because you need to do it before the under the scarf, I mean, not before. So one arm can go up, one arm can go down. So I think the little sticker arms look better, you know, on this one with the felt. But then I like these other arms as well that we have on this one. Okay, I like colored arms as well. I mean, so either way, I mean, how can you go wrong? I think they're all super cute. And now let's show you about the sentiment. So for my trick for the sentiment is you take a 1 3/4 inch strip of Whisper White cardstock. Okay? And just because my table is so crowded, I'm not actually going to bring back up the whiteboard, but just know that you're going to take a 1 3/4 inch, and I'll put that in the description. So in other words, it's not quite 2 inches. Because the treat itself, this is 2 inches wide. So I want this to be 1 3/4 inches wide, okay? And that's why I made this a little bit smaller. Okay, so I made this smaller than, that way it says you have a little bit of margin around. Okay, and I did already mount this, so we're good on time. Okay, we already have Let It Snow, and I'm going to take Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to take it, because it's a coordinating color. And we're talking about snow, so I'd like it to be in blue. I'm sticking this on the little mat. Okay, I'm tapping on the Blueberry Bushel. And I'm stamping Let It Snow. I'm going to take my Timeless Label Punch. If you like this punch, it's available now in our annual catalog. I'm taking the Timeless Label Punch, I'm opening it up. I'm turning Let It Snow upside down. You really should let these dry before you do this, so it doesn't smear, but we're good. We're avoiding it. We're not going to make sure it doesn't smear. And I'm going to put Let It Snow. I'm going to make the little corners. Okay? And now I have a little tag with little corners. Okay? So that's a little trick for you on another way of getting the most out of this Timeless Label Punch. And let's do one more. I'm going to do the rest later. I'm just going to do one more. Okay? I'm going to shut this. Oops, I don't like that one because it got a little smeared. You have to go slow or it'll get smeared. Come on, Papered Chef, get your act together. I think I shouldn't rush. Okay, let's go slower. You know what it is? It's something on the ink itself. I mean on the stamp pad itself that keeps making the W smear. All right, so much for cleaning that stamp pad off. I just went over to my Stampin' Scrub to get to get it to clean off a little better, and hopefully it did the trick this time. I'm gonna put it all the way up here. Hey! Okay, I'm happy with that Let It Snow. Now I just got to cut off some extra paper. Good thing I ordered this Whisper White in bulk. All right, so that was Whisper White, Blueberry Bushel. Making a little tag. So now I just want to show you that I put the little mittens on there. Again, clean your stamp, close your ink, all that good stuff, because you know you don't want to get this all over yourself when you're trying to do another part. And finally, at the end of this, I will show you what's inside these little treats too. Limited, you know, by what I could get. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on each side. I was limited by what I could get at the Family Dollar, because they didn't, I mean, there's no Christmas candy out yet. Even Hobby Lobby doesn't have Christmas candy, although they have tons of Christmas decorations. I'm going to put Let It Snow. I'm going to put that right on there, the little mittens. I'm going to flip it over to make sure you get the cute little embroidered side. And I'm going to put the little Flirty Flamingo mittens on there. And now I'm going to take Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, put one on each. And that goes on the back. So when you have the shaded spruce, I could have also inked around the edge of the tag. You have the shaded spruce, but put the little mittens that go on the same. The mittens match the front. So how cute is that? So Let It Snow's on the back, but then the mittens and the hat, the mittens are there, but then the hat and the scarf are on that side. I just thought that was cute. Let me know what you think though. You might have another way of doing it, and I am open to ideas because I just make things up as I go along. Okay, and here's Let It Snow on the back of this one. And normally I would like tap it down, but honestly my hands are so full of ink. I have to be careful, right? Not to get ink all over that. So that's cute. Now let's stuff them. So I'm just going to show you what I put inside them. And we're not going to stuff them because I don't have my bag of mints here, but I'll show you what fits inside. See? 2 little mints. This is all they had. They had a bucket of these at Family Dollar for like $4, and I bought a ton of those, and you can fit 2 in there, no problem. And or later on though, put Hershey Nuggets wrapped in cute little designer series paper, or put any kind of Hershey miniatures, mini Tic Tacs, other kinds of mints, whatever you want. Other ideas of what to put inside? I'd like to hear it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my special, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel if you're new here. So thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef. Until next time, happy crafting.